So before we get started, I'll go with a slide. Later on, I have a doc, so I'll be verbally talking and I'll be sharing this doc in the group. I haven't joined the doc group yet. I couldn't find time to check the WhatsApp, but I'll do it. So voice modulation I spoke yesterday. Yup. So when it comes to interview, what did I tell you all yesterday? That going on an interview is just like going on a date to get into the relationship with the company. Yes? So at present I am going to prepare you guys for a date. Okay? So there are 3 steps to follow for an interview. Before the interview, what you are going to do, during the interview what you are going to do, and after the interview what you are going to do. Okay? Please write down everything. I need not say, because this is very important for you. This will not only help you in today's interview, but it will help you even when you change your job in upcoming days, maybe after 2 years, 3 years. Have these notes, because not every time I am going to be here. Okay? Now, before the interview, make sure you are researching the company. Give me a minute, do not write down, listen to me right now, I will give you time to write. Before the interview, make sure you research about the company. Make sure you go to their website, go to their Google News updates, look up for people on LinkedIn, review the social media accounts. These platforms you will be able to, you will get to know about the company. Just imagine it's, I am going to relate everything with a date. Just imagine you want to meet a girl. You will at least check her social media, isn't it? Even if somebody sends me a friend request, I am going to check who is this person before I accept that, right? So it's very important for you to understand where I am going, whom I am going to talk, and which company I am applying. If there are, see, when I am hiring and there are people who come up to me and I ask her, do you have any question? They are like, ma'am, what is this company all about? I am like, if you can't put that little efforts of researching about what we do in our company, then I don't think that you are serious about the job, right? I am definitely not going to hire you if you don't know about me, about my company, isn't it? So it's very important that despite you applying for various different companies, you know, in a bulk, give 100%, know about the company, who started, when did it happen, what products they have, how much revenue they are making, what is the turnover, everything. Okay? So that's one of the things. So you can find the data from these websites and the Google News updates, look up for the people on LinkedIn, and if possible, if you know who is the HR, so you can just research about them also on LinkedIn. Mostly HRs are on LinkedIn. Alright, let's go for, okay, write down now, and then we will move forward. Next, practice beforehand. Never underestimate the practice. Make sure you don't take things for granted. Don't have overconfidence. I have been doing it, I know everything. So don't go with this confidence. Make sure you practice. So how can you do it? Write down the list of possible questions. I am going to give you a list of possible questions which is commonly asked. Okay, there are multiple questions with the answer I am going to give you all. So you don't have to worry about it. So practice beforehand what kind of questions they ask, because we as a HR, we check, we test you, because most of them they're well prepared when it comes to self introduction. After that, if we ask their question, they fumble a lot, they get stuck. So that's the reason HRs now they know that you memorize your self introduction. But rest questions you will get stuck, and that is where it's very important that you be well prepared with all the possible questions that is asked. So list down that, record yourself interviewing, because these days even the interviews going on recordings, they are asking you to send videos, some companies. So record yourself interviewing, or you can ask your family members or friends that let's do a mock interview. Like tomorrow I will be doing a mock interview, I will be taking interview of each one of you one by one. Okay. So you can do this, make sure you are practicing well, that shows that you are serious. Okay. Let's move forward, write down, then we will move forward. So all that we spoke yesterday about body language, voice modulation, that has a lot to do, and this is just a 7% that I am talking for the day. I told you all 55% body language, 38 is voice. We are talking today 7%. Everything is your confidence. These days everywhere I am going for an interview, just in case people want to hire me as a trainer, they are not even taking my interview these days. They are just talking to me for 2 minutes and like, Sujatha, we are all set, we are sending you the confirmation email. Why? Because of the kind of confidence that I am carrying while I am speaking. But other candidates whom I spoke, they are like, Sujatha, we had 2 rounds, we had 3 rounds, it is still in the waiting list. That is happening because they do not want to take multiple rounds for me because they are sure that I am the one for them. So that is the confidence that you need to give them. Done writing? Lot to write, guys. Sometimes maybe you can take a photo also, but if you take photo, make sure it is there in your notes also, because there is so much to write for the day. And rest of the things I will send on a doc. You have a soft copy. Done? Okay, next. Do you guys want me to share the PPT? Okay, that will help. So now you can just listen, because you have a lot to write. Alright, next, dress professionally. It's very important that you look professional when you are going for an interview or for the presentation. I will talk about this, particularly we have a separate lesson on this, what kind of dressing sense that you need to carry when you are going for a presentation, interviews. So, I will talk about it, but before that understand a slight psychology about it. So, what to wear depends on where you are getting interviewed, which means that casual workplace, one level up dressings. Just in case the company culture is something like they can come with any outfit, any casual dress, they do not have any mandatory to wear formals, then just dress up one level up. So, if they are casual, go with the semi formals, okay. But and again, if you just check here, business casuals like startups with the business attires. So, you can go with the business casuals just for this startup companies, but if you check with the banks, if you go with this law offices, wear formals with blazer. I was working in a bank and we were told that Monday to Thursday mandatory formals, no jeans, no skirts, nothing. But only Friday we were allowed to wear informal outfits. So, if you go to bank for an interview, prefer going with blazer if possible. I will talk about this in detail, okay. Clear? At least you understood that every time you go for an interview, dress up one level up by understanding the corporate culture. Like companies like SAP, they have they go with the casuals completely all the day, Monday to Friday. So, there you can just level up, one level up and dress up well. Okay? Next. Now, talking about boys, I can't see it properly, it's very small, but okay, I will take a snap of. Now, talking about boys, when it comes to top wear, make sure the outfit that you are wearing, the top wear, that shirt. So, make sure you go with something light colored long sleeved shirt. Do not go with half sleeved shirt for an interview, long sleeved shirt, whereas you can go with white or something light colored dress shirt. Clear? Boys. Now, coming to girls, girls go with full or half sleeved shirt or the regular fit straight kurta. Like colors, like you can prefer going with the beige colors, grey colors, blue colors for the top wear. Okay, so at present I am wearing this t-shirt. Okay, so I am trying to align it with my pant. So make sure that you are usually going with the full or half sleeved. It's absolutely fine, but no sleeveless. Okay. Now, next going with talking about bottom wear, boys. If you are going with this shirt as light color, go with the dark color with the pants. Okay. So like grey, black, blue color. Okay. Now girls, like I told you, top wear you can go with kurta. That does not mean that you go with lot of glittery kurtas which has lot of design, lot of highlights, cham cham kar raha hai, don't. Okay. So go with a plain color, like I told you, go with a plain grey, blue, beige colors. Now talking about bottom wear, go with a knee length pencil skirt if you can wear it. Okay. Now again depends on where you are wearing. So you can go with a pencil skirt but plain and not too short. Now on the other hand, you can also go with the dark pastel color pantsuit. Okay. So you can go with the black usually goes with all. So you can go with black or dark colors, that can help you. Now talking about footwear for boys, make sure you go with the polished leather socks, leather shoe and socks, and the dark color that matches the pant. Socks should be dark colored that matches the pant. Okay. For boys, I have heard this. The reason I am highlighting this, there are a couple of students whom I explained everything. They went with sneakers for an interview. People do that. People go with chappal. Boys, I have seen. So make sure you invest. See, every time at present you have 4 to 5 months of time. right? So start investing, because those are your investment. If you look good, people will hire you, because people judge you first by just looking at your attire, okay? By just looking at the way you are carrying yourself, what you are wearing, people judge you. Later on when they talk, they will get to know more about you, right? So your appearance has a lot to do with your entire presentation during the interview. Clear? So make sure these are the investments. Next, for girls, footwear. You can go with a very low heel, which looks impressive. Go with the colors like black, beige, blue, and all the dusky pink. So I usually go with this black, and make sure when you are wearing black, go with a closed shoe, just like I am wearing right now. So I can see at present, to be very honest, my leg fingers are paining because of this shoe, okay? Entire day I have to wear this, but this is closed. I can't wear heels which is black again, it will not go well. So mostly I prefer going with a closed shoe where my fingers are not seen. So you can go like this, and there is a slight heel, this is enough. Do not go with a plain flat chappal also. On the other hand, do not go with too much of heels. Clear? So you can prefer going with a black, beige color, beige, blue or dusky pink. These colors go well on any outfit, and if you can have one mandatory black shoe, that will really help you a lot in most of your outfits. So you do not have to think about colors after that. Okay. Next, accessories. Boys, if you can wear watch, belt properly, tie, depends on the situation, like the other part, the psychology that I spoke. And if you carry a laptop, have a bag, laptop bag if possible, okay. So when I was interviewing one of this guy, he had files and it was like too much of paper. So if you have too much of paper, have a file properly, zipped one, so it looks professional. So when you go in front of HR, you place it and it looks good, or you place it on your lap rather than in searching, and that looks so informal. Alright, so that is one thing. And even for girls, go with a basic handbag which can be neutral shades, black, tan or blue. The reason I did not carry, I usually have a black bag which looks too formal for me. The reason I did not carry, because it is travelling and my bag was heavy, like too many things. So I prefer going with only when it is needed I carry. So usually you can carry a black bag, a short one, that looks good. Clear? So this is about it. Now talking about girls, do not wear bold makeup, do not wear jhumkas, do not wear, do not go with complete oil and gajras, okay, and do not wear too much of neck chains or chudiyan. There's girls, they come, they wear this, what's that, anklets, chhan karne, what's happening, where are you guys here for the day? So it's very important to understand that these things, avoid doing it. Just go with a small stud like I am wearing right now, small stud, that's enough, and light makeup on your face. And especially when it comes to hair stylings, girls, make sure that if you can go with pony, you can go with pony, tie your hair properly. And if you have a straight hair, you can go with it, open hair, but make sure you know how to carry it. Do not keep doing this every time. So you can rather tuck it off, or you can have a clutch over here, okay. So that's one of the thing when it comes to makeup. Even talking about nail polish, no too much of red everywhere, okay. That's one thing. Anything else that I am missing when it comes to makeup? Anything that you want to know? Yes? Lipstick, nude shades you can go, or a light red also, depends on your face, okay. Anything? Boys, go with a proper well shaved, and even the hair properly, well shaved, groom yourself properly, alright. Okay? Boys, I think there is nothing much, just that you guys need to plan up your entire thing. And if you can wear this watch or stuff, it gives a good look, but do not go with sneakers. Okay? Let us go next. Is it clear? Next, it is very important for us to make sure that we reach early. Now, why is it important? That when you reach early, number one, you look disciplined. Number two, you have some time to get adapted to that environment, isn't it? To settle down mentally, and you will get more relaxed at the place. Now, there is one of my friend whose dream job was to get into the Northern Trust company, and finally she was asked to come to office. 11 o'clock was the interview, so she was asked to come somewhere before time, like 10 minutes early. She reached to the place around 11:05. Watchman closed the gate. he didn't allow her to get in, and she lost the entire opportunity for lifetime. So, it is very important, because Northern Trust or TCS, these are the companies, there is always crowd. There is people who want to get in, and not only about these companies, there are various different companies. Like, make sure, no matter if it is a startup or a small company or a big company, make sure you reach there on time. So, it is very important, no last minute rush, and just in case you are genuinely late and you have the number of HR, informing is not again considered as late. You can call and hey Sujatha, somehow I'll be late for just 5 minutes, allow me, excuse me for that. Informing is not late. Just imagine that you are waiting for a girl on a date, okay, and she is late and she didn't even inform you. She is late for an hour. How will you feel? Stressed? Like, what the hell is happening? It's not going to work out between us, and kind of, isn't it? So, when somebody informs me that, hey, I'm just on the way, I'm going to be here for in another 5 minutes, just excuse me on that. You feel better, you feel good, right, that okay, the person is informing me. So, informing is not considered as late. Next. Now, on the day of interview, probably I think that's about before the interview. Now, during the interview, I already spoke, arrive early, reach at least 10-15 minutes early, and if you can reach 30-40 minutes early, that will be good. Why? Because see, I already told that you may get stressed. When you reach early, there are some procedures also to get into the company. Maybe the check-in will happen, maybe the security has few things, there is a guideline, you don't know the place, and once you reach to the venue, make sure you find for a mirror so that you can check your outfit. Maybe, while traveling, it is important for you to recheck on your outfit, on your hair, on your makeup. So, it is important, go find a mirror, then you get into the room for an interview. Clear? Now, when you, during the interview, when you reach to the HR, you give your resume, greet the interviewer with the last name. How many of you do this, that, hi ma'am, yes ma'am, no ma'am, you use lot of ma'am, right? Every time you meet people, HR, anyone, you use ma'am, ma'am, ma'am. But in the corporate life, stop calling people with ma'am, take their names. I was the one, every time that I go and give every time when I joined the company, it was my first job, I used to call ma'am to everyone in the office. Ma'am, sir, this does not going to work. No matter what is their age group, call them by their name. In my coaching program, I have been coaching people across the globe. So, there are people who are 60 years old, who are 50 years old, 70 years old. There was this guy who reached out to me who was 80 years old. And I asked that, why do you want to learn public speaking like 80 at this age? I was curious to know. He told, Sujatha, it's my daughter's wedding, so I need to give a speech. So, I am looking forward to learn public speaking. Somehow, his requirements were not that much, high, or he didn't need that skill more. So, he didn't join, but he reached out to me for this. So, what I am trying to say is, no matter what age group that I have taught people, double or triple of my age, I have called them by their name. So, at corporate place, call them by their name, and even if you can call the HR by their name, it will be great. I do the same thing, I do not call with them with a ma'am, we are in the level. So, there was one of this, I'll tell you, there was one of this incident that happened. So, this is again related to complete interview. So, when I quit my job in the year of 2021, like all Indian family, why did you quit your job, how will you manage your finance and stuff. So, mama asked me, ki Sujatha, I don't think it is going to work for you, go get a job. I told mama, wait, I'll just see for 1 month. 1 month, no revenue, no income. Then I started doubting myself and I agreed to give a job interview. So, I remember I received this call from Accenture where I had applied. So, there was a person called Tejas, he reached out to me, he gave me a call. So, I told, he was like, hey, I am speaking to Sujatha. I told, hey, hi, hey, so he told Tejas, so like, yeah, hi Tejas, how are you doing for the day? That's it. No? Usually what happens that when you receive a call that, hi, so yeah, yes sir, I am calling you from Messenger, yes sir, are you ready for interview, yes sir. This is your response, hey Tejas, hi, how are you doing for the day? He told, I am doing great Sujatha, I am calling you with regards to the HR interview, so are you ready? I told, sure. So, can you please introduce yourself? For the very first time, I didn't prepare my introduction. Earlier, just 2-3 years before, like at the beginning of my journey in the corporate life, I had, especially during pandemic, I had this freedom of reading my introduction because it was all on the call, isn't it? Earlier it was like face to face, now most of the interviews are on call. So I remember I had bundle of papers, my self introduction, introduce yourself. I used to read, sir, my name is Sujatha and I am blah 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 blah, experience of this and this. But that was a day I was never prepared for an introduction because it's just about talking about me. And I know about me. I know what experience do I have. I don't have to prepare to talk about myself, isn't it? So I never prepared for it. So I gave my introduction with confidence, and after that I just prepared, I just saw about the company. What do they do, revenue and stuff. Apart from that, I didn't prepare anything. So after the HR round, the guy was really impressed and he told Sujatha, we look forward for you in the second interview, second round. Now that's going to be about voice and accent because it was about semi-voice or I think the process. I did all set. He sent me the link. Somehow I couldn't clear the voice and accent round. So he reached out to me and he told Sujatha, we would love to give a second chance. He spoke to all the managers and like, we need this girl, we need her. Okay. So okay, before that, coming back to the same first round, I missed few things to inform you guys that he asked me that Sujatha, what's your salary expectation? So I didn't tell him that okay, I expect this lakhs rupees and stuff. I told, hey Tejas, I read your job description about the position and it says that you need this, then this skills. And I have all the skills. And I am damn sure if you hire me, I can contribute a lot for the growth of the company. Now you tell me how much would you like to pay me? Yeah. I told him, now you tell me how much would you like to pay me? He was like, he was shivering. Then he told, Sujatha, we would like to pay you this and this. I told all set because that was absolutely double of my salary. I told all set. And second round I couldn't clear. He was pushing all the managers that sir, we want this girl in the company, we want to hire her, please give her a second chance. I got a second chance, I cleared it off. Now there was another managerial panel round and that guy was putting so much of efforts to get me inside the company. So I remember I called him one day because I was feeling bad because I am sure that after 2-3 months I am going to quit it because I mostly want to focus on my business, I want to grow in my own business. So I was feeling bad for him and I told one day that hey Tejas, I just wanted to talk to you about few things that I don't look forward for this position. So I'm sorry to waste your time, but I'm into coaching journey and this was an interview that I gave because of my mama's force. So I understand how the hiring happens, it's a process, then training happens and somebody leaves. Again, replacement takes time because I myself, I hire people. Right. So he told okay, all sorted and he started asking me about my coaching and he asked me, can I join your course? So you know, you can flip the game by just being confident. Okay, that's the reason I say how you speak, how you use your voice, that all matters a lot. How confident are you about yourself, everything. And I'm going to tell you how can you even talk for the salary and stuff one by one. So that was one incident that happened. So after next thing is, yes, so when you go, greet them by their name or maybe the last name, alright, that's one thing. Next, introduce yourself confidently and give a firm handshake. Your handshake speaks a lot about you. Did I tell you guys yesterday, right? So don't give a loose handshake, don't be too hard, fishy handshake. Firm handshake, 1, 2, done. It's just like 1, 2, done. You don't have to give your handshake like this, like most of you give, especially boys. Okay? You don't have to be too fishy handshake. It's a firm handshake. Clear? Next, listen before answering. This is very important. Most of them, they don't have the listening skill. And when you don't listen carefully, you don't give the question, you don't give the answer for the question properly. Just example, what child labor mean to you and why is it important? Just imagine they ask you 2 questions together. What child labor is all about? Please tell me about it. So you just heard that that word child labor. You start talking about it, but the second question you didn't hear. So, it is very important, let the person finish the question, let there be a gap of 2 seconds, then you answer, okay, in your interviews. Be a very good listener, do not rush, because the rushing happens when you are in anxiety. The ROAS I told you about, okay. Next thing is avoid negative and nervous employee. Now, this is very important. When you are sitting for an interview, there are your friends, maybe outsiders, and when there is a waiting time, you are with people and they are like, "Arey, I don't know, like how is this people, this company is not nice, I heard. My dad is already a businessman, so I just came for time pass." Or some people will like, "Oh, I don't know what question they will ask me, I am really nervous, I don't know how will I answer." Avoid these people because they will create stress in you. Energy transfer is real, guys, and if you start avoiding them, you can rock on the stage, because I am already preparing you guys for to be positive and be confident, and if you start surrounding yourself with such people, then nothing is going to work in your favor after that, okay. So, avoid negative and nervous candidates. I am telling you, there was one of my students, she is a beauty queen, she gave her first pageant, and she was telling that there were nearly 15-20 beauty queens on the back end before we go on the stage. Everyone was shocked, so everyone was nervous that how will I answer, what questions judges will ask me, and she knew that Sujatha has told me not to stay with them, so she was away from them. She was standing alone, she was doing this breathing exercises, she was practicing affirmations, and you know what? She sent me the photo that Sujatha, I got first prize. I won the crown. I got the crown. And I did all that you told me, and that really helped me a lot. And that is the reason I am telling all that I am teaching over the last 3 days. It is not just for the time pass, it is a practical things that I am talking about. Okay. Next thing is, do not sit until invited to do so, then when asked to sit. What does it mean? That when you go for an interview, maybe you give your resume, let HR tell you to please sit down, then you sit. Do not just be comfortably sitting. So, give a resume, please sit down, have a seat, take time, okay. Next, do not place anything on interviewer's desk. If bought a portfolios, ask, may I, before intruding the space. What does it mean? That imagine that I am a HR, I have my table, I am keeping my resumes, the resumes from the candidates, I am using my table. You come as a candidate, you come with big bag and big files and keep it on the desk. I will not like it, isn't it? So, what you are going to do, firstly carry light things, do not carry too many things. Secondly, when you want to keep or use the table, ask them, ma'am, may I keep this here? It is very important, may I keep this here before you use their space, okay. Ask for it, otherwise keep it on your lap, okay. That is one thing. Next, be polite to everyone you meet. You are on the stage from the moment you arrive until the moment you leave. What does it mean? Most of you think that, okay, I entered the campus and I am all set. So, before you face the HR, you will be like this, you will carry your body language like this, or you will be like this. Maybe you will keep talking, you will be on your phone, and you will be, you are making some noise. You are not professional. You think that, okay, I need to be professional, I need to behave well when I am in front of the HR because she is hiring me. But you need to understand that you are already on the stage by the time you entered the venue for the interview. So, you need to start behaving properly till you are there inside the campus, okay. When you talk to people, maintain the right body language. When you are, maybe sometimes you have seen some reels, some HRs act as a candidate just to see, and there is always a camera where people are observing you, people are watching you. You never know who is a HR there, right. So, it is about you behaving right until you are inside the campus. Clear? Or shall we move forward? This is during the interview. Now, after the interview, before I tell you this, okay, I will talk about that later. So, now after the interview, just in case your interview is done, all the questions are answered, everything is done, thank the interviewer, send them the thank you email. Do not give up. What does it mean? That maybe you sat in front of me, you sat in front of the HR, you got to know the package is less, you got to know that this is not the position that I look forward for. Your behavior, your expression, your tone changes, isn't it? You're like, okay, this is that something I don't want. Let's take it lightly. So it's very important to understand that don't give up. Consider that as a practice. Assume that this is my practice. Okay, that's one thing. Now make sure you again when you get up, thank you so much. Send them the thank you email. I'll give you the template. Okay, that will help you. I'll put it in the doc itself. Let's go forward. Next, questions for the interviewer. Now most of you, when the HR asks, do you have any question for me? You say no. Thank you ma'am, no I don't have any question. But this says that you are not serious, or maybe you are not interested. Okay. So it's very important to ask question to the HR, because if I am interviewing people, I am definitely going to probe, I am going to ask them, do you have any question, just to see how curious you are to join us, how interested you are to join us. See, if I am interested in a guy for a date, if I am on a date, if I am interested in someone, I am going to ask multiple questions. What do you do, where are you, and what is your hobbies, everything. I will try to know a lot about them, isn't it, when we go on a date. It is similar. You try to, when you are given this opportunity, try to ask multiple questions, but not now again, don't ask too many questions. When asked, okay, ask one or two appropriate. Now don't ask like, ma'am, are you married, are you single, which city are you from, ma'am? No, none of these questions are formal. Don't ask this, you are fired then and there. So it's very important. I'll just take a snap of it so I can read it out for you guys. There is multiple questions again, probably it is some are on the doc, I will tell you all, and some are here. Okay, so you can ask questions which is related to the process or the position. So there is one question is like, what sort of training will the person in this position receive, or who will be the person, who will this person work with primarily, or what will be some initial projects. So ask something that is related to your job profile. Okay. Next thing is, what is a typical career path for someone who begins at this level? Where could I expect in 5 years? HRs ask you, where do you see yourself for 5 years? You ask, where can I expect in next 5 years? Always put your ball. Let them, they will not be able to answer you. I am telling you guys, I have trained HRs. I was an HR. I have trained HR. When they come up to me like, Sujatha, when candidates are sitting in front of me, I get very nervous. I don't know how do I talk. I fumble a lot. HRs tell me this. You are afraid of HR. HR is already afraid of you. This is the honest thing. And when I first time when the HR reached out to me for the first time for public speaking, I am like, what? I used to be so nervous about them. Like I used to see them like an alien. But this is the real fact. So understand, end of the day, they are human. They are not God. Definitely, they are going to hire you, they are going to give you a life, everything. But understand, they are just a human, and you are just going to give your best. That's it. You are not going to plead. There's a lot of opportunities at present. If one is not working, the other will work. I don't want you guys to just run like, take the paper, ma'am job, no. People should come to you. Make yourself that capable enough to let company come to you. Let them hire you. Okay. So like yesterday, I think when we had this inauguration, sir told, right, that there is one student, his package was 2.3 crore, right. Then why will the company pay so much? Because he had worked on himself, right. So assume, like, think where you are doing wrong. Is it about your soft skills? Is it about knowledge on your technical skills is missing? What is it all about? Work on it. Where was I? Okay, questions. Where is this photo? 1 minute, huh? Next thing is, describe the office environment, how individual work and communicate. You can ask this also. There are more questions I will give you guys. How are employees evaluated? How is the performance rewarded? You can ask this, because you can ask how is the performance rewarded? Do they reward every month? Because there is a best performer award in few companies, and few companies they don't do it. So you can ask them. How we are evaluated? No, are we going to get the awards for the efforts? Ask them. It's very important to know that, understand this one thing, you don't need them, they need you, because it's going to affect their business, it's going to affect their revenue. You don't need them. through you they are going to make millions. Understand? So, I don't need them, they need me. Have this attitude. Clear? Shall we go next? This is done. Next, 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 next. Okay, objection handling. Shall we go next? This is most of the common questions. Okay, I'll keep my phone here. Okay, shall we go next? I want to see. Okay, it's good, all good. So, most of the time, especially freshers, they face these challenges and they tell that you don't have experience. Most of the company reject freshers for this, right? So, how can you answer them? Just in case they say that you don't have enough experience, how can you handle this situation? This is a polite rejection, I would say. If they find that you are not the right candidate, this is one of the polite rejection, I would say, as per my experience. Okay. So, you can answer them by showing your internships that you have done, and maybe the major class projects might be you have done, maybe the volunteer projects you might have done, or maybe the other examples of your workplace, of other work. Now, when you talk about this internship, the projects, blah blah, whatever it is, make sure that project is completely related to the position that you are applying. If not, don't talk about those internship. Like most of you in the beginning, I asked you what's your hobbies? You told cooking and sleeping. Are you guys kidding me? If I am the HR and you come to me and I ask you, okay, what's your hobby? Sleeping. I am going to reject you then and there. Sleeping, are you serious? Cooking, are you serious? What will I do with that, knowing that? No? If I hire you, will you sleep in the office or will you cook for me every day? Are you kidding? Never. So, always highlight your internships, major projects, volunteers and these stuffs. Tell them that I have seen for this position these things are required. Ma'am, you can just answer in this way that, ma'am, I understand I am a fresher, but I have been into these projects and work for the last 2 years. I have done these kind of projects which is completely interconnected with the work that we will be doing it. Okay. So, try to paraphrase it in a right way so that they get convinced. Okay. Next, I am not sure you will fit with this team. Now, this is a complete rejection, okay, and they are telling you upfront that I am not sure you are fit for this. Now, it hurts the ego, isn't it? So, it is very important for you to balance your aggression also. Don't react immediately or don't get disappointed immediately, but prove them that why do you think that you are the right person. Tell them out. You don't have to shout or be aggressive. Don't react, but politely deny. See, I am into the coaching industry, I am doing business. I come across a client who directly tell that, ma'am, I don't think your course is going to work. I am not going to even, see, there's hardly 1 or 2 I have found like this. I don't think your course is going to work. There I can either get disappointed or feel, or maybe I can react. How can you tell me this? Let me tell you, I reject the person then and there by telling what he is going to miss if he don't join my coaching program. The reason is that I don't need him, he needs me. I am going to solve his problem. So, if he is not seeing the value here, that means he is going to miss. So, I am going to leave him with this impact that what he is going to miss if he don't join my coaching program. When I did this, people were like, ma'am, please tell me, I want to join, what is the fees? I reject them then and there despite they're ready to open their credit card and pay. I tell them that we will be opening the slot in another 15-20 days, we will get in touch. That is a polite denial that I do, polite rejection that I do. Okay? So, understand this one thing, they need you. Okay? Now, and the reason I am telling you, my team left the job after 1.5 years of working because of her personal things. She left the job. To replace her, it took 3 months for me. 3 months, too much of workload for me because I was doing her work. 3 months, I was stressed, I had a work-life imbalance, too much. I had to find the good candidate to work with me. Like I want the person to work with too much of efforts, not efforts, I would say the dedication that I look forward for and an eagerness of learning. It took 3 months for me to replace them. So, understand this one thing, it impacts the company if they don't hire you. So, you don't have to plead, they need you. My business affected for 3 months, honestly telling you guys. Business, mental health, physical health, everything. So, have this attitude. Next. So, refer, just in case if somebody tells you, I do not think you fit for this, refer to the portfolio by talking about projects. Again, most of the answers are same. Okay, most and about projects that you work on the other projects, chances are you have worked with the team, class, projects and stuff, blah blah. It is the same thing that I spoke. Highlight on it, highlight again and again the work. Do not tell that, why do you need this job ma'am, because I have loan, because I am the only person who is going to work. No, nobody is going to hire you for sympathy or empathy. You just need to tell how you are right, that is it. Next, why should we hire you? Like I already told you, do not sound desperate. If you go on a date and somebody is so desperate to get into the relationship, you do not get into relationship. You need a slow love, you need a slow things, So, understand, it is the same. Do not sound desperate when they ask you, why do you think that we need to hire you? Rather, tell them, I saw this position has these requirements and it completely aligns and I can contribute. Talk in a you perspective. It is going to help you, talk in a you perspective that how it is going to help you, how you can contribute. Okay? Do not be like, I will get a job, it will help me in my finances, my lifestyle will become good, it will help my parents and I will be able to buy a car, maybe I have a lot of educational loans, so that is why I need this job. No, you are not going to do this, all this. Okay? So, do not sound desperate. Next. So, highlight, speak with confidence like I told you. Now, where do you see yourself after 5 years? Common mistakes, most of them they do is this, in your place. That is so rude, in your place. Avoid doing that. Or as a CEO of the company. I know you want to do that, I know you want to become a CEO, but do not tell that. Okay? Next, somewhere else. Now, these things says that you are not serious. So, you can tell it in this way that after 5 years, I look forward to expand my expertise and take some leadership role in order to help the company to grow. So, expand my expertise and I look forward to take a lead in the company, take a lead role or sort of things. Okay? So, you can do that, you can always put your ball. Alright, is it clear? I will give the specific answer, it is all in the doc. Probably if not, I have it somewhere in the laptop, I will just check once. Alright, next. So, why do you want this job? Common mistakes, I want money, I have loan, or because you have opening? No. Most of you, I think couple of them, they told that no, I do not want to do job, I do not want to do business. It is not going to work if you put it forward, despite you do not want a job, you are an entrepreneur. When you are giving your interview, be normal. No matter how much rich person you are, be normal there. Okay? So, align, like I told, common mistakes are this. So, align your skill with the work. And example, as I have read your website, you are planning to launch blah blah blah, whatever it is. No? Always highlight your skills and expertise. Most of the question answer is same. So, it is going to be easy for you guys to understand. Any question comes, highlight your skill. Okay? So, probably I think Rubicon will also give you all a certificate. So, you can also put this in your resume that you have learned public speaking. Do not add interview skills, but you are learned communication and public speaking skills. Why? If you add this, this will bring lot of weightage in your entire resume because company look forward for it. There are couple of people whom I have coached, they reach out to me, they tell that Sujatha, for the last 10 years I have not got any promotion, no proper hike. Now I give my life to you, please change me. Why? Because they realize that they could have worked on this long back, they did not make that investment. Okay? Company when they hire, maybe you may think that okay, I am a technical person, maybe I just have to do some developing and stuff, I do not need these skills. But when you look forward to stay with the company for a long period of time, why do you want promotion? Promotion demands you to speak. When you get promotion, when you get promoted, your people management work is increased, your laptop work reduces and people management work increase. You will have to lead the team, you will have to talk with the clients, you will have to crack a deal, a lot of things comes. It is just that the technical part developing is tough in the beginning level. When you get promoted, you need this skill. So, if you are someone who has not mastered the art of public speaking, understand promotion, these hikes are going to cost you. It is very important, master this skill first. Most of them, they do not realize this when they are in the start of their career. Most of them, they realize when they lose lot of opportunities at office, when they are not getting promoted, when they are not getting hike. When they are not getting promoted, when they are not getting hike, it is impacting all areas of their life. Family pressure that he is earning only this much, yes, and no respect in terms of relationship, maybe with your partner, because you are not able to fulfill the requirements. It affects your mental health because it is your lifestyle isn't increasing, it's not getting better, right? It impacts everything. You may think that this is just a simple skill, but this is a foundational skill for everything. Getting my point? So, you will not understand even now, even if I tell you till you are in college, maybe after 2 years you will realize this. When you get into company, you will remember these words of mine that yes, Sujatha ma'am had told to learn this skill, I didn't do that, so it is affecting me in my workplace. You will remember this, mark my words, you will remember this, because I have seen people telling me this. Next, do you have any question for me? Not asking the question is a common mistake. Asking the wrong or a personal question is a common mistake. Like I told you, don't ask them about their relationship status, blah blah. So, ask the question that aligns with the company and their future process, about the interview experience in the company, about the culture and blah blah you can ask. There are some questions that I have jotted down, so that will be given to you. Okay. When I will go through the doc, I will in front of you guys, I will talk more about it. Okay. Next, bonus tip, get enough of rest before the interview day. We all have this habit of practicing, preparing in the last moment, right? But it is very important that prepare well before. On the day of interview, a day or two of 2 days before the interview, make sure you get good rest, make sure you eat well, make sure you do not fight with people, because when you fight with people, when you have argument with people, you are mentally disturbed and you can't give your 100% in your interview. Now, this commonly happens in some orthodox family, that people don't want to see you grow. Now, when they know that there is good things going to come in this life, maybe he is going to give the job, people will try to create a mess. So, it is very important that stay calm and get good rest. Okay? Clear? Next, impromptu topics, I spoke about it. Shall we proceed? Yes, let us go. Is it that's it? 1 minute. Did I open the wrong slide? I mean like it's not a wrong slide, but the partial information is not here. 1 minute. Is it clear? Any doubts? Understanding? Useful? Allow me a minute. View. I will refer the doc right now. The doc that I will be giving you guys now. Okay, we will break now. We will go for a break. So, we will be back by 11, 10, 12 minutes of break. Pause that. Okay. So, now that we have learned about how can you crack your interviews, what is the body language, voice modulation, all of this. Now, we are stepping forward into what are the portals that you can explore. So, if you just have a check on the first one, there are 4 portals to build a powerful resume. Okay, so you can explore Novo resume, because I saw a lot of your resumes are not that great in terms of design. Yes, you use it. How is your experience there? It's good, right? So, rather than Canva, I know most of you know Canva and it is super hyped about those platforms, but there are other platforms which also offer you good templates. So, you can go with the novoresume.com, you can try Canva, you can try Enhance CV, and you can also try Zeti Resume. Explore these websites, and if you find good templates, go for it, because your resume speaks a lot. Alright. Next, how to end your interview conversation. So, once your introduction is done, once you have answered all the objections that the HR has put, or maybe she has asked you multiple questions, how can you end it? There are 2 templates that I have sent you. That is, number 1 is, thank you so much, I am looking forward to engage with you and your team and contribute in the best possible manner. This shows that how excited you are, how interested you are to join the company. Okay? This shows your interest. And that is what something a HR look into, that when I have to hire somebody in my team, I look forward for the dedication, for the commitment, for the interest. Okay? Despite the person having, maybe he is not that great with the topic or he is not good at his expertise, maybe he is average, even then I am looking forward to hire him because the kind of commitment or the dedication that he shows. Okay. Rest I can teach him, that is not a big deal. So, that is what these lines will help you. There is another one which is, thanks for interviewing me, your entire team looks so powerful, energetic, and I would love to be a part of it. Now, this can be customized accordingly. Now, the second one you can use when you know something about, when the HR has told you something about the team. Now, this is something that they will tell you when they ask you, do you have any questions for me? When you say yes and you ask questions related to the team or stuff, then the second line can go well. It has to sync. Okay, you just do not have to randomly tell something, your team looks good, when did you see my team? They will question you. So, make sure it aligns. Clear? Perfect. Next, there is another thing, do not let your fear to overpower us. Understand your potential, know where you are heading and what exactly is your path and clarity. So, like I said that don't let fear overpower you. So, do some breathing exercises that I told you, practice some affirmations, be on time, dress up well so that you are comfortable, a lot of things. So, do not let that control you or overpower you is what I meant over here. And the next thing is, showing a fake experience or certificate is not ethical. These days there are a lot of companies, they offer you free certificate, just you need to pay some amount. I understand that okay, that will help you to get into the opportunities, but that is not the ethical way, because see, imagine that I am putting something which I have not done on my resume. Definitely when I am in front of the person, I will have that fear that oh my god, they should not catch me all, oh my god, they should not figure it out that this is fake. So, you will have that fear and you will not be able to give your 100%. I would say ki rather be ethical and right opportunity will attract, because most of them they show the fake experiences and when you get into the company, you do not sustain. So, it is very important, do not do that. That is my suggestion. Next thing is, even if you are failing in 8 to 10 interviews, it is preparing you one step closer to your interview success. So, every time you feel that everyone got placed, my friends are placed, people who are not studying well, they are placed, you should not get disappointed. Understand that what can I work, be somebody who can take feedback. I am someone who always takes feedback from HR or anyone and work on it. And even if you are getting rejected every time, understand what is your learning and prepare for upcoming days. Because you feel like maybe you got rejected from one company, you get disappointed, you cry for 2 days and you get like maybe nothing will happen in my life. Do not do that. Take the learning, because that is preparing you for the best opportunities. And one day you will realize that why others did not work for me. You know, when you go on a date, you see now that sometimes you realize that I am glad that it did not work out. You feel right, because you had big things, you had big good things. So, it is the same, that be blessed that since it did not work, you take the learning and you are all set. Next thing is, use ATS friendly resume. Now, this is very important. So, do you think that there are like lakhs of people who are applying for job, HR has so much of time to see. Now, I have to review all the resumes right now personally. It is so much difficult for me to do that. Review, give feedback, it is not easy task. And do you think that HRs will sit and see your resume and do those things? It is not going to work. They are going to filter a lot. That is the reason I told you, go with the ATS friendly resume, which means the HRs, they upload it on the website and the portal will scan it and it qualifies, automated. So, you need to make sure that the description and your resumes are aligning. That is the reason I told you that customize your content, customize your resume. If you are not getting this description or the job portfolio, whatever the information that is needed for the position, if you are not getting, ask for it. And if you are still not getting, find out on internet that what are the skills that is needed to get into this position. Maybe at least you will roughly have an idea about it, right. So, make sure you customize each and every resume before you apply for a job, especially online. Alright, refer your doc that I am reading right now, and fix LinkedIn profile. Most of your LinkedIn profile is not customized. So, customize that and you are all set, because people also check your LinkedIn profile, how professional you are, what are your achievements. So, be active over there as well. Next, there are 4 best resume fonts that you can use, because I saw multiple fonts were not that great and you had used multiple fonts on the same resume and different sizes, font sizes. So, you can hardly go with 2 or 3 font size and not more than that, and even the font other fonts that I am talking about, do not go with all other fonts. I have mentioned 4 fonts that you can use for your resume, that is Roboto, Times New Roman, Veranda and Calibri. You can use these 4 fonts, clear? So, when you are sitting and preparing again, rearranging, like I gave you all feedback, some of you I will give the feedback again. So, refer that and take the feedback and come up with a resume again tomorrow. Okay, I will try to check as much as possible. Now, questions to ask after the interview. Remember, I told you that, do you have any question? If HRs ask you, what are the question? I gave you some, I will share the PPT too, but there is some more here, that is there any provision for my personal development in company? This says that you have that growth mindset. This says that you are looking forward to learn here, okay, contribute, learn. Okay, you can ask this question. You can also ask, what are my roles and responsibilities for the designed, okay, designated project. So, ask your roles and responsibilities. Now, there is one more thing, maybe HR can ask you, have you not referred the description? So, if it is not given anywhere, you do not know the roles and responsibilities, you can ask this. But if you know there is already roles and responsibilities given somewhere, do not ask the repetitive question. They will bounce back telling that, have you not referred that. So, you need to be careful at some places. Okay. Next thing is, ask about the company culture also, if you want. See, I am not asking you when they ask you, do you have any question, do not ask 5, 6 question and waste their time. 1 to 2 question is enough, okay. That is it. Even if you have more questions, ask which is very important for you at that moment of time. Next thing is, do the company also help to get certified on their domains or platforms? Specify the domain accordingly. There are a lot of customization you will have to do as per your situation. Is it clear? Okay. Next, tip 1. One thing that will boost your selection chance. The recent survey says that 60% of recruiters showed interest in receiving a thank you email after the interview. Despite you getting selected, despite you getting rejected, people, HRs, 60% of the HR have shown interest that they love when they receive thank you email. Don't you think that probably just like I am connecting everything to a date, I am telling you the reason. I already told you that it is like getting into the relationship with the company, going on a date with the HR to get into the relationship with the company. Now, just imagine you went on a date with a guy, and when you guys met and it is time to say bye, if the guy do not text you that, hey, did you reach home safely, will you feel connected? No, right? You expect the other person to ask you that, hey, I hope you reached home safely and it was very nice talking to you and connecting with you, right? So, at least a thank you email or sort of love, isn't it? You feel good. In the same way, even HRs feel good when you meet them, after that send them the thank you email. They love that. And there is a high chance that they will check on the possibilities to hire you. They tell, nah, we'll get back to you, because they need some time to think about it. They're not sure about you. Now, this will increase the chances of getting hired, at least to an extent. Okay. So, here what kind of thank you email that you can send? Most of you, again, if you get hired, you are excited and you send them thank you email, but most of them you do not send email if you are rejected, just send it off. Even that template I have mentioned over here. Now, the template here says that, hi, dash dash dash, it was great meeting with you, thank you for sparing your time to interview me for the role, mention the role, particularly mention the topic, project or whatever it is. If there is anything else I can provide to assist your decision, please let me know. I look forward to hear from you soon. Best regards, Sujatha, or your name, whatever your name is. Alright. Don't you think that if HR will read this email, don't you think that there is a chance for you to get selected or make the decision easy for them? Okay. So, you can send this email. There is a template, everything, just copy paste and customize. It is just a matter of 5 minutes of work. Next, mistakes. Don't overemphasize on your weakness. When you are on an interview, don't also write a weakness in your resume. Or just imagine you go on a date with a girl or a guy, and the girl says that I have anger issue, I don't want to stay with parents, and I went on a surgery, I was suffering from cancer for this long time, blah blah blah. Will you even proceed further? I am the daughter of this person, I have so much of money, blah blah blah, everything. There is a high chance that you will not like it, isn't it? It's the same in interview. If you tell, if you highlight your weakness, they will not like it. They are not going to hire you. They know that सामने कुआं है तो गिरना है मुझे तो मैं क्यों, right? गिरेंगे नहीं. Right? So it's very important to understand. Talk about your weakness only when it is asked. Don't mention anywhere. And just in case they ask your weakness, mention in a way that you are working on it. Not like, okay, this is my weakness. Most of you told my weakness is this. You have written my weakness is this. But imagine that I tell that I am poor in my speaking skills. That's it. Maybe you will not like it. But if I tell you that, hey, I am poor at my speaking skills, but you know what? Recently I took a course from this so and so person, and I am working on it. I am damn sure in 1 or 2 months I will be pro at my speaking skills. Now you see that my weakness, I am trying to tell the other person that I am working on it, isn't it? So always mention your weakness in a way that it's not your weakness anymore. It doesn't sound like that. And even when you are in a corporate level, don't mention a weakness that can impact the work. Mention something which has nothing to do with your corporate life. Okay? So that's one thing. Now, on the other hand, next thing is don't complain about companies. Imagine you go on a date with a girl and he says that, you know what, my ex was like this, my ex was this, and blah 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 blah. Will you like if somebody talks about their ex in the date? No, right? In the same way, when you get in a company for an interview, don't talk about other company. They did this, they did that, I don't like that, blah blah blah. No. It was a good company. I was enjoying it. Now I look forward for the challenging position which helps me to grow more, blah blah, whatever it is. But don't complain no matter how bad or good it is. Okay. Next, don't sit in a clutter zone. Any question? What happened? So, this is one thing. Don't sit in a clutter zone. Make sure you are sitting appropriately. Next thing is don't directly jump into salary and bonus. Guys, let's understand. Nobody is hiring you for free. They are definitely going to pay you. And if you just want to have an understanding, maybe they would have mentioned before that what will be the on an average salary that will be paid. Okay? But always do the market research, even if you are not told that what is the salary, if they are not revealing it, but you know what position they are trying to hire you, right? Go to the Glassdoor, go to some website, understand what is the salary, on an average salary for this in this location of this company. You will have a rough idea. Then you decide whether should I proceed with it or not. ठीक है? That's one thing. Don't keep telling I, they will lose the interest. When you go on a date, if somebody is talking about I am the Ambani's daughter, I am the richest girl, I am the only daughter, I am so pampered, will you like it? No. So ask the opposite person, how was the day? What are you doing? What's your goals? Be more interested to know about them. Clear? Be more interested to know about them. Also tell about you when it is asked. Alright. That's one thing that will help you. Don't feel, do you feel you are not able to answer? I don't know what did I mention over here. This was my notes by the way guys, just to refer that I am sharing this with you guys. Okay, 1 minute. Okay, one more thing, the second line, I have seen both. Even if you are answering 50 to 60%, it is enough, don't be in a negative zone. Now, how many of you think that I need to answer all the questions that is asked? Only then I will clear the interview. How many of you feel this? Most of you think that I need to answer all the questions that is asked? Yes? But what if I tell you, you just need to answer 50 to 60%, that's it. HRs know that you will not know everything, okay? And even if you don't know, are you interested to learn about it? That's something that they'll look forward for. So, it's very important for you to understand. I'll tell you, when I was giving my interview for Hewlett Packard, HP company, my interview was at 2 o'clock. So, they sent me an email in the 24 hours of format, which is like 13 and 14 and 15. So, somehow I got confused with the time and I thought it is at 2 o'clock. So, I was preparing because last moment I have interview in another 1 hour. I was sitting and preparing. I was in my night pant and stuff. And I received a call that, Sujatha, where are you? All the managers are waiting for you. It was a managerial round. Managers are waiting for you. Why didn't you join? I'm like, shit, do we have interview now? I quickly got ready and I told give me 5 minutes. I joined in. And since I was, like it was a last moment I felt and I was rushing, I was breathless and I forget everything that I had planned. I had prepared everything. I forgot everything literally. She is asking me some questions, three managers. One is asking some other thing, the other one is asking some other thing, the other one is observing me. So all the three managers were observing me, they were asking questions randomly. I forget most of the answer. I didn't answer like 60% of the question. I went blank. This was related to business, it was a Hewlett Packard, so they were asking related to the process and stuff. And I closed, interview was done, nearly 45 minutes of interview on call, back to back rapid fire question. So that was done, then I told I don't think I am selected. So I gave up, and other day I received a call that Sujatha, you are hired. I am like, what? How did this happen? So then I was rethinking that what good did I do that they look forward to work with me and they hired me. I realized that I was having the dedication and passion and interest in joining that company, because Hewlett Packard was one of my dream company to work with. So when I was in college, so it was like every day I had to travel the same road, so we had a big board, big company, right, I used to see every day. So what has happened that I had answered few questions, but the thing is, she asked me, the manager, that Sujatha, do you have any question for us? I said, yes ma'am. So I asked that, ma'am, since how long are you into this company? And she told 20 years. Then I could have stopped over here, okay, but I was curious to know again that, ma'am, it's so difficult to work with a company for 20 years. What kept you motivated to stay with the company? And since she told this is my first company, blah blah, what motivated you to be here? She started getting emotional, she started telling the entire history. I took a maternity leave for 6 months, the company has given me a lot, this is my company, it feels like a home, blah blah. She was complete emotional. She felt good with me because I was asking some relevant question which she wanted to share. And I don't know how, what happened, I was hired. So it works, so you don't have to worry about it, just focus on how confident you are and how curious and interested you are, how dedicated you are, and they just need is growth mindset. This worked out for me, could be you can try. Next thing is, there are 10 soft skills that employers value the most. Now that you have written most of in your resume, skills, soft skills, whatever you have listed it down, probably you can pick some from here, because these are 10 soft skills that employers value the most. Strong work ethic, okay, strong work ethic. Respectfulness, a company look forward for somebody who is respectful, okay. Positivity, teamwork, good communication skills, active listening, empathy, self-confidence, problem solving, growth mindset. These are the 10 skills company value the most. Okay, done. So you can pick some from here for your resume. If you are unable to convert interview, okay, it's like clear interview and convert interview. Okay, so if you are not able to clear your interview, there's 2 websites. You can just go to the targeted resume and resumeworded.com. I'll talk about it tomorrow in detail. Okay, I want to research more on this. So it's just about, it helps you to filter what is the weightage of your resume. It's just about how much percentage there is a chance for you to get selected based on your resume, how much percentage it is good to go. So it gives you an idea, but I'll talk about it tomorrow in detail. Alright, so here it's basically like you upload the job description and you upload your resume and it matches whether it is good to go or not. So it helps you to figure out that, and it also gives you a suggestion that what you can add on more. Okay. Now next thing is, email this if you don't clear the interview. That is, customize the email accordingly. I have mentioned there, I have highlighted that. So I will read it for you guys, that good afternoon, I want to thank you for your time on whatever day you go. Okay, Monday I mentioned, change the days accordingly. It was a pleasure getting to learn more about the company during the interview process. Although I was disappointed to hear that I was not selected for this position, I trust in your leadership while selecting the best fit candidate. If anything with this position changes, or you feel I would be suitable candidate for another position at your company, I would be happy to come back for additional consideration. I wish you and your team all the best in the search. Send this email. Okay? Just in case you don't clear. Don't sit and cry in the room and get depressed. We all do this. I was giving my interview for SAP. Okay? and I didn't clear. Even I wanted to work with this company. I think this is SAP is a very good company to work, SAP, Amazon, Hewlett Packard. So I worked with Tata, TCS also. So SAP was a dream company. I didn't clear the interview and I was crying for all the 3 days. I didn't clear the interview, this was the last opportunity, blah blah blah. Then I realized that I got placed in Hewlett Packard after that. So don't get disappointed, which I do. Now most of you ask that, ma'am, help me with the self introduction. Okay, so tomorrow you guys will be coming up with a self introduction format. So what are the things that is needed in your introduction? I am reading it over here. Element 1 you need to add is your intro with adjective. Start with your intro with adjective that, hi, I am Sujatha. I am a hardworking engineering graduate specializing in CS with overall CGPA of so and so. Okay? That is, start with an adjective. Next, element 2, add your accomplishment with a proof of performance. Talk about the training that you received or how it aligns with your JD. And just in case if you have experience, highlight that experience first. And then talk about the others, the second element that I told you, performance, your accomplishments and stuff. Okay, so just in case you are experienced employee after that, maybe you have an experience of 2 years, maybe you will try to look for the second job. At that time you can also highlight your achievements, that I was awarded as the best performer of the month October for so and so blah blah blah. So highlight those things also, that will help you. Next, along this template, I think, along with my degree I completed NEET Java SQL courses on Coursera, and various technologies helped me, various technologies I learned have helped me to develop my final year projects, and I was it was during this project I discovered that I am a team player and so on. So, you are not separately mentioning that my strengths are I am a team player and blah. You see how well you are aligning it, or the words are synchronizing together, right. So, you are articulating is what I meant again. So, here just blend it so nicely that you do not have to mention in a basic way that my strengths are this, my hobbies are this, blah. You see, clear? Next thing is element 3, how you fit the job. You need to end by saying why you are applying and how you do the job. Okay. So, basically here in element 3 you are going to add, read the JD carefully and tell how your skill align with the requirement. Most of you, when you give your introduction, you do not give your introduction, you give the introduction with the entire family. My dad is this, my dad is he does this, I have 3 brothers, he does this, he is in this company, he is that company, my mommy is a housewife. They need a self introduction, not your entire family introduction. So, remove these things. Already there are so many people, and especially I have heard in Alvas there is a lot of people come for an interview, is not it? So, they will not have so much of time to listen to your history, what do I have to do with it, right. So, it is very important to tell them how you fit, your accomplishment, whatever it is needed to hear. So, you have a short and crisp and to the point introduction done. Okay. Next, note, do not bore the interviewer with a list of life stories like I already told you now. Okay. Do not worry about the grammar till you use the following techniques. Most of you told that my English is not good, I am not good at it. Stop focusing on your English, rather be confident, maintain eye contact, do not talk like a robot, keep it conversational. You are going on a date, only one person is speaking and sitting listening, maybe you are talking and the other person is not even responding or reciprocating with your energy, you will not feel good, right. You will be like, why the hell is not talking, why is it so boring, you feel, right. It is very important that keep it conversational. Then show excitement that you are excited to join, you are so excited, you are prepared well, you look forward for the growth and stuff. A good interview is a conversation, not a monologue. Okay? So, keep it conversational. Every time public speaking is a conversation that happens between one to many. Yes. Next, people ask you what are your salary expectation. So, do not tell, ma'am, I want to earn, I want this salary, I want 10 lakh per annum, blah blah. Wait. Okay? So, you can say there are nearly 3, you can use either of it, that I am open to the negotiation and I am confident that if we come to an agreement that is mutually beneficial, my main goal is to find a role that is both challenging and rewarding, hence the salary between this and this would be appropriate. So, give an average between this and this, just in case. Otherwise, if you are complete fresher, see, there is 2 things, you need to play game, little mind game. Firstly, understand you have done your own research and you are sure that I am going to get 5 lakh to 10 lakh in this position. Now you know. So, now you do not have to be like between this and this I expect this salary. This is something that people say when they are not aware of anything, they have not done research. So, when you know that this is a package that I am getting, I can expect, rather go with as per the company standards, okay, as per the company standards. Now, they will play a game again. We did this. So, we asked like, okay, so the salary that we look forward to give you is just 15,000, are you okay with it? We do this just to check how passionate you are. Are you joining the company for the growth, or are you just faking it off? We look forward, by putting forward this question, we probe you with this question just to see what is your intention of joining the company. So, do not get panicked there, answer it professionally, alright. Next is my salary, the second pointer that you can go is my salary expectations are flexible and I am open to discussing a range between on the value that brings to this role, which would be between this and this, X and Y. I understand the need for the companies to remain competitively priced and I am confident we can come to an agreement that works for both of us. Now, see, if you are presenting, if you are telling these lines, you need to put it in a way that sounds like conversational. You don't, if you just copy paste it, you will sound robotic. Make sure that when you are putting these words, it should sound that it's coming with the confidence, it's coming within from you again. Okay, that's one thing. Next, third one is my expectation is to be compensated fairly for my skills, experience, education. I am open to discussing salary ranges and I am confident we can reach to an agreement that works for both of us. The third one looks more effective comparatively to 1 and 2, but still see what works for you. Alright. So, there are 3, just choose what works for you according to the situations also. Next one, there are 10 common questions you should be prepared to answer. Now, did I tell you morning that be prepared with the questions that is common questions that will be asked in an interview. I told you guys, right. So, I have listed down some common questions that will be generally asked, which is tell me about yourself, what attracted you to our company, and tell me about your strength, your weaknesses, where do you see yourself after 5 years, do not tell I am in your position, I told you guys already. Okay. Next, tell me about the time when you encountered business challenges. This could be the question that, this is a question that is basically asked if you have experience or maybe you have done your internship, maybe they will ask you there. There is a chances they will ask you, but this is mostly for experienced people. What are the most important thing that you are looking for in your next role? You can, they may ask you this question just in case you have some experience around. Next, you can also ask, they will also ask you, why are you leaving your current job? This is again for experience. So, this doc will help you even after your first job, maybe when you start hunting for the second job. Okay. So, save this. What are your salary expectation is a common question. Do you have any question form is a common. Are you flexible with the shift or notice period? They will ask you. And how soon will you be able to join? You can tell it immediately. Look at the requirements also. Like most of the time the job requirements tells that joining immediately. So, just tell immediately. Okay. And even if you join after 15 days, tell immediately. Because if you tell ma'am after 15 days I will join, you know that company process takes time. At least they are going to take, onboarding is going to take 1 or 2 weeks of time, isn't it? At least 1 or 2 weeks it will take. Even somebody who is joining my course, it takes time for them to start with the first class, because I send them the send them the onboarding email, then I send them, I do an induction call with them, orientation call. Then the third stage comes where we start with the first session, the foundational course, foundational session that happens. You see, even for my coaching program, it is not like you paid the amount and let us get started now. So, it is that. So, analyze that company will take at least sweet time of a week if it is complete immediate. Alright. So, go with immediate joining by just having a check. Okay. Next, oh, there are so many information that I have given. I will keep adding guys on this upcoming days. By your 4th month, mostly you will have more contents. Then replace this in your email communication whenever you are going to communicate to HRs or anybody in upcoming days with your colleagues. Replace this, that is, instead of, we always tell, right, and this is something that you can replace even in your daily conversations. Stop telling sorry every time. Okay. Rather replace it into thank you. So, Even evening, like afternoon, I was late for 5 to 8 minutes, down ma'am were waiting, I told thank you for waiting. I didn't tell sorry ma'am to make you wait, I am going to thank you for waiting. So, thank you for waiting so patiently, again you can add this, though they will feel good that okay, I am appreciated for being patient unconsciously. So, you see, instead of saying sorry for the delay, say thank you for your patience. Replace it in your daily conversation too. Do not be sorry every time. Next is, I hope this makes sense. Rather than this, say let me know if you have any questions. Replace it. Next, instead of telling just wanted to check with you, this is something instead of that, go with when can I expect an update. Okay. Next thing is, instead of telling sorry my bad, say thank you for letting me know. If someone is pointing at you, rather than telling sorry my bad, thank you for letting me know. So, this is how you can replace the words from sorry to thank you. Next, salary negotiation mistakes most of you they do is that, note the hiring manager wants you to negotiate, but still only 50% of the people they negotiate for the salary. Understand, they need you, you do not need them. Okay. So, you can negotiate, but initially I would say for first company, go with the company standard, research do your work and then go ahead with it. But if I have to give you my personal suggestion, from second salary you can negotiate more. First salary also you can go with it, but here you need a persuasion skills more. Okay. So, I will try to cover that slightly tomorrow, not today. It is going to be too much for you guys to receive, consume for the day. So, next thing is not checking your value, not asking for more or not preparing for negotiation. Try to understand the current market value and other benefits that are provided also. So, I will talk about this in detail later. Saying yes too fast, not negotiating at the right time, these are the mistakes that mostly people they do, or mostly you jump into the salary. Tell me what is the salary, then some of them they do. Tell me what is the salary. Why? It is an internet world, you can research it by yourself. If you tell me what is the salary, it is like you are sounding desperate. Okay. Next, the last one is how to sound more confident at work. Just in case you join the company, how to sound more confident. Start implementing these things in your real life right now, being in college. Like, instead of saying this might be silly, you know, most of the time you come here, this is very silly, but yeah, I will tell this. You do this is very silly thing. Rather than telling that I wanted to ask. Next thing is, instead of saying I am not sure how it works, say based on my understanding I believe this may work like this. Based on my understanding I believe. Next, instead of saying I might be wrong, say my perspective. Instead of saying does that make sense, say let me know if any clarification. Instead of saying I believe, say I am confident. Most of you say, right, I hope you liked it. You should say I am sure you loved it. Okay. I am sure you loved it. What happened? Next thing is, instead of saying sorry, can I ask questions, say I have a question regarding this. A slight change for the same thing can make a huge difference, right. So, this was about the entire interview skills for the day, but there are some reference link that I have added that can help you with more common interview questions. See what is relevant as per your domain and explore the websites. There are 50 plus top questions asked, which will be asked in 2023. And now, like since you will be giving your interview in 2024, maybe this website people will upload the new link. So, you just have to stay updated, and even these questions may work. So, just figure out, explore the website. The two websites, one is from themuse.com, the other one is from Harvard University. Explore both the links for more.